All right, guys, good morning. Great morning, extraordinary morning. Been getting a lot of people hitting me up, asking to get back on some morning workouts, some morning routines, AKA activation. Now, the reality is we're all at home. Some of us in certain states can obviously go outside. We can still use parks, but the intention of today's broadcast of this live message is to show you some of the tools that we use to perform at a high level. And we use the term activation because it's a reminder that regardless of what terminology, what verbiage, what nomenclature, what system, what program you use or you think of, every single person on planet Earth needs to activate. They need to get primed. They need to get prepared. They need to get ready to wake up on fire and win the day. What we need to do more than anything is prepare our mind and our bodies for whatever it is that we're going to have to handle, to deal with the stress factors. And we're going to build it out not only from a physical standpoint, but from also a mental standpoint. We're going to start with this idea around conscious breathing. And the way that I like to explain it is we breathe all day, every day. It's a part of our autonomic nervous system, but very rarely do we stop and pay attention to our breath. And if we can do that first thing in the morning, it'll really set the tone, it'll set the frame, it'll set your mind on a path to be able to handle all kinds of high-level stressful situations. And regardless of what type of breathing you call it, again, or what system, I like to use the term conscious. It means I'm paying attention. It means I'm aware. It means I'm creating a higher level or a higher state of breathing. So if you're doing this from home or you're watching it later on the record, we're going to do this from a standing position. The reason why I shoot almost all of my videos live in a standing position is in real life application, we're standing. We're truly not meant to sit here. And now that screen time is up 65%, now that we're all working from home, we have to find ways to break that standard, right? Our standard operating procedure of sitting like this with a cranked neck and a terrible lower back is going to create greater health problems than training too hard or picking up something heavy. So inside of conscious breathing, what I want you to simply do is close your mouth, bring your awareness to your body. And you can keep your eyes open or you can close them, it's up to you. If you're driving, please keep your eyes open. And we're just going to begin to breathe in through the belly. This imaginary air is coming in through my belly. As I breathe in, I push my belly out. I'm expanding my lungs. I'm drawing in the fresh air. And I'm getting to the top. And when I get to the top, I'm going to hold on to that breath. Again, the systems matter less to me than the actual work. I don't care what you call it, but take some time, first thing in the morning, to simply acknowledge the fact that you're alive, that you're breathing. And inside of that, we can put in things like gratitude, appreciation, prayer, meditation. So I just want you to take 3 conscious breaths in through the nose and out. We're going to talk about getting rooted or grounded in the earth and allowing our blood flow to recircle itself, to recycle itself, literally to cleanse itself by getting grounded to the magnets in the earth. We can take our shoes off and we can stand inside of that. Beautiful. So next phase now is simply going into some type of movement, okay? So for those of you guys who have asked to do some at-home workouts, I got a couple pieces of equipment. I know it's real hard right now to purchase, to find, to buy any type of equipment. So this is simply a brick stone, right? Weighs about 20, 25 pounds. I brought a couple other pieces with me that I found right around here. I got a rock. This rock weighs about 8 or 10 pounds. and then I got an even smaller rock here. So there's no excuse, my friends, between your body, between the road, between trails, between your backyard. It doesn't matter what kind of space. If you're in an apartment in New York City right now, you can move the body, you can pick up a printer, you can pick up a couple jugs of water, you can use cans of beans, cans of tuna, cans of whatever you have. At the end of the day, you've got to find ways to move. Not only is it going to energize you, it's not only going to lift your spirit up, but it's going to keep you healthy. And obviously, we need to be as healthy as we possibly can. We need to find ways to create and build our immune system and the functionality of our lung capacity. So this combination of both exercise, movement, and breathing, along with a positive mindset, is truly all we can control in this day and age. So we've got to do it every single morning. All right. So we're just going to start out with some basic upper body dynamic movement. Dynamic means it's explosive. I'm not just holding a stretch, but I'm moving. I like to open up, throw in a couple real deep breaths, a couple crossovers, rotating that upper body right around my hips, around my spine. My life, your life, it revolves around the spine. So we've got to find ways to move the spine. I'm going to open up here from the side position. I'm going to squeeze. I want to get long. I want to get lean. I want to get flexible. I want to stretch. I want to move my upper body around. Beautiful. I can do this with my lower half, lower extremities. Nice and simple. I'm just simply pulling up on the knee, a little bit of mobility as I'm going to do some squats. Awesome. I'm going to move those hips right around. The intention here, guys, is to do all of this work, the breath work, the mindset work, the physical work, in less than an hour, aka the power hour. And what I'm going to do next is just do some very basic air squats. Feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to turn my toes out, open the hip crease and knees, and sit. This is a counterbalance with my upper body. If you believe you can't do a squat, I challenge you to just simply pull up a chair and in a squat stance, sit down in that chair and stand right back up. There's truly no excuse why you can't move your body. And if you have physical limitations or you have challenges, most of us are using those as excuses as why we're not moving. So, my friends, today is about finding ways to move your body, move your mind, move your spirit, move yourself forward in times where there is no movement happening around us. Beautiful. From there, I would go into some push-ups. I'm not going to show you guys any push-ups because I want to get right into the brick workout. All right? So it doesn't matter what this is. This could be a case of water. It could be a propane tank. It could be a book. It could be a pillow. It doesn't matter. We just got to be able to use something that we can that allows us to pick something up that's just a little bit heavier than our body weight. So standing in a great position here, I'm holding on to this brick and I'm going to simply just do some deadlifts. Bending my legs, coming down slightly past the knee, keeping a good posture, working those hamstrings. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to go into a row using my shoulders and my back. And the purpose of using this one piece of equipment, whether this is a barbell or this is a dumbbell or this is a brick, we have to pick something up that's heavy and allow us to get a little bit stronger. This progression we often use in the gym with a barbell, but if you don't have a barbell, you don't have any equipment, just pick something up heavy. So from deadlift and row, we go into a bicep curl. Okay, if this was a barbell, I'd be doing a clean. We're just gonna get a couple reps in here. From here, I go into a press. From here, I go into a squat. I'm gonna hold that in that front rack position as if I had a kettlebell or a dumbbell or some type of weighted ball. I keep my elbows up nice and high. Beautiful. I start that whole progression from the top. How many of these do I do? more than you did yesterday, right? What's a good set look like? Probably 10, 12 repetitions depending on the weight that you're carrying. How many sets? 2, 3, 4 sets. Just start somewhere. Obviously, for those of you who are advanced, they might even have a home gym. You're doing different types of training. But this is for the guy or the girl who is stuck at home and they're so used to going to the gym, so used to having somebody lead them, that if you do this a couple days a week, if you find something heavy to pick up off the ground, now we're talking about functional movements, and functional movements are key to life. We're not going to be doing bicep curls and tricep extensions in the middle of the road. We're going to be picking things up off the ground and putting them up on shelves or putting them into trunks or rearranging your house or wherever you're living. We've got to move our body, and in doing so, move weights that are heavy, okay? Strong people are harder to kill. It's a great quote by a strength coach, and it truly means that every single day, if we can pick something up heavy, that it's functional, something that I'm going to pick up in real life, then we will get stronger. And if we get stronger, we get mentally stronger. And if we get stronger, we get leaner. And the more muscle that we have, the more body fat that we burn. And that combination of basic health practices, along with subtype of movement, right? I don't have to do this all day long. I don't have to do this an hour a day. But in the morning, I wake up, I go through some conscious breathing exercises. I stand rooted in the ground or the grass. If you're in a high rise in an apartment, you're still barefoot. You're feeling your muscles, your joints, you're feeling your body make contact with the earth or with the ground. You go through some breathing, you drink some water, add a little bit of lemon, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of apple cider vinegar. You're finding ways to create health with what you have, not what you had or not what you want, but with what you have. And you do some type of exercise, 10, 12, 15 minutes. A lot of the guys that I work with, it's a standard. I set this standard from day one, January 1, 2020. However old you are, however many years you've been alive on this planet, for me it's 41. Every single morning I do 41 non-negotiable push-ups. If I work out or I train later in the day, that's awesome. But part of this idea around activation is to stimulate energy. It's to create energy, positive energy through my body, through my mindset, through my heart, through my breath, ultimately through gratitude, through appreciation, through giving others. But I can't serve others. You can't serve your family. You can't serve your business. You can't serve anyone until you serve yourself first. Because we're in a constant state of energy drainage, right? We're constantly being drained of our energy. Now you throw in a crisis, you throw in a global pandemic, you throw in people not working and the economy and unemployment, and all of a sudden now we become this massively large organic piece of stress tissue walking around planet Earth. And like the movie Ghostbusters back in the day, one negative energy creates another negative energy, creates more and more and more. And before you know it, everybody's walking around mad, pissed off at the world, blaming and pointing fingers. Now, I understand it. You might have lost your job. Or you may be stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in. Those are part of the uncontrollables. But what you can control is what time you wake up in the morning, what your first hour looks like, how soon you decide to tap into social media. One of the things that I do is I keep my phone on airplane mode. You might have heard this before. A lot of people who are living this type of lifestyle do the same thing. Airplane mode. That's my standard for not waking up to the matrix. Even though I know I'm gonna be doing some social media later in the day and using my emails and my texting, it's a way to give myself gratitude before I plug in. All right, let's go into phase 2 here of exercise training. This is a rock, right? Obviously we live in Arizona, there's lots of rocks here, but it's a weight. And again, you can use anything. What I'm gonna do here in this second series is I'm simply going to hold this weight over my head. And in doing so, locking myself down, pushing my head through the window, I am fully engaged. I'll step back a little bit so you can see the rock. I am fully engaged. I am fully activated. Every single muscle fiber in my body from my fingertips down to the ground is being worked, right? A lot of guys I've been talking to lately, they're like, I need more weights. No, you don't. You need to slow down. You need to use some tempo. You need to use some static position holds. I'm gonna push this up overhead, and I'm simply gonna hold this weight above my head in the most perfect position I can. Simply locking everything down from the fingertips down to the elbows, the shoulders, specifically here in the core and the rib cage. I'm aligned, bone is stacked on top of bone, all the way down, rooted into the ground. Awesome. I'm gonna just do some strict presses. Control. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Focusing on my conscious breathing. Inhale. Exhale. If I wanted to add a little bit of conditioning or a little bit of leg, I might walk down to the end of this trail, simply holding this above my head. If I took 2 weights in hands here, I could do some farmer's carries. I could carry them with me. I might switch up and do 1 arm at a time, but I'm doing multi-joint exercises. I'm not simply doing a bicep curl, which is simple and something that we can do, but I'm using as many multi-joints as I can. Multi-joint movement, shoulder press, shoulder and elbow. Multi-joint movement, squat, hip and kneecap. We want to do multi-joint movements to get the most bang for our buck. All right, one more piece here inside of the physical. Smaller rock, okay? We're gonna do 2 things with this. Number 1, simple isometric isolation. I do a lateral raise. I do an alternative lateral raise. I do a single leg deadlift. I do a little bit of flexibility to where I come up from this single leg deadlift, and now I work on transitioning into a little bit of balance exercise, taking that up overhead. I might do this 5 times. Whatever you do to one side, always make sure you do to the other. Beautiful. I'm done with my workout. I'm done with just activation. Boom, I shut it down. I take this rock, last thing I'm gonna do. This is a little bit primal. You might not be able to do this in some of the bigger cities, but we can do it here. Rock throwing is a very primal activity, and we do this all the time in some of our experiential based trainings where we just pick up rocks along the trail, we focus in on a target, and boom, we throw that rock, right? In our mindset, we're preparing for battle. We're a gladiator mindset, gladiator mentality, and we have to do things that are more primal. They're more back to our roots. So I'm gonna finish here. I take my shoes off, take my socks off. I'm standing on dirt, I'm standing on soil. I am rooted in the ground, and now I wanna work on my body positioning. I wanna work on being a soldier. And what I mean by that, with all the respect, shout out to all the military out there, past, present, and future, everybody on the front line. Like, I look at our military like celebrities. I look at the Navy SEALs, I look at the Army Rangers. I look at those guys as literally celebrities of the world because of the work that they put in, because of the discipline that they have, because of what the American Armed Forces has obviously done for the protection of our land. So we have to stand like a soldier. I'm deeply rooted, feet down into the ground, good posture, eyes up, chin is up, I'm level, my core is tight, my arms are open. And now I'm gonna go through that same conscious breathing that we did at the very beginning, in through the nose, hold, out through the nose. Second breath, in through the nose, hold. This is where I add a little bit of my own spice. During these holds, I smile. I find a way to fake it until I become it. Not fake it till I make it, but if I can start smiling, if you can start smiling in the morning time, reminding yourself, damn, life is hard, we know that. I'm alive. I got another opportunity. Today is another chance for me to improve upon what I did. Today is another way for me to give back to the world that I live in. Today is another day to rise and thrive and not just survive. If I can go into that with this mindset of pure positive energy and force myself just to smile a little bit before the chaos begins, before the kids wake up, before the emails come in, before I have to go into work. And what that looks like for you is different for everybody. Maybe going into work for you is going into your office from your bedroom. But those mindsets that you're gonna have to prepare for, start. The war is happening all around us, everywhere. But if you don't win the battle at home in self, you will be defeated by the enemy before lunchtime. My friends, every single day is a new opportunity to rise and to thrive, to consciously breathe, to get connected to yourself through your mind by activating your body, paying attention to your breath, pausing, taking a little bit of energy to write, whether you journal or you diary or you just write a couple things you have gratitude for, and then closing your eyes, internalizing, thinking about the fruition that you want to have for the day. Today will be an amazing day. Today will be the best day I can possibly have. Today will be the greatest day of my life because I decided to show up and work on me first before everybody else. My friends, I appreciate you for being here. Next week, next Thursday, I'm gonna be doing a live webinar on this exact same topic. We're gonna get specific, we're gonna get detailed. We're gonna hear from you. What are some of the challenges you're facing? Are you struggling to get up out of bed? Are you struggling to stay consistent? Are you struggling to find discipline in these uncertain times? I appreciate you guys for being here. Happy Thursday. Pay this message forward if you got some value from it. One love.